Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you doing today? We're coming at you a bit earlier. It's the lunchtime hour for me and Dash. We're full of energy today. It's midday. I have no excuses. I didn't just drag it all out at work today, so I'm here, day off, fresh for you. Dash, how you doing?
I'm like super excited because we're doing the lunchtime live. So everyone in Italy, it's 6 p.m. So you guys have your nice evening stroll of a podcast to listen to when you're doing your walk. And to our friends in the Western Hemisphere, good news. Now you have something entertaining for your drive home. So just saying, you're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. We're doing a bit different today. We're going to try to hit up different time zones, of course, because there are people all over the world. And this being an Italian club, I mean, this is prime time in Italy right now. So hopefully it works out. Hopefully you can join us. If not, definitely hit us up on the replay. We would appreciate it. But today, we're heading into the derby with Fiorentina. This is, especially with PSG coming soon afterwards, this is actually a pretty huge match. Dash, you excited? Are you ready for this?
I'm excited for PSG. Who's Fiorentina?
They're one of our arch nemesis, but yeah.
It's the funny thing about this game is like, most Juventini don't sit there and be like, oh God, man, we hate those Florence fans. More or less, they're just kind of like our feeder club at this point.
It's turning into that a bit.
It was funny because there was a comment that was made last year where they were like, oh, we hate Juventus and blah blah blah, and then Juventus fans are like, who are you guys? Who? Ooh, no, but it's always a fun game. Playing in Florence is always going to be tough, so it's going to be fun. You're going to probably hear a bunch of boos if Vlahovic plays on the field. They probably will panic Chiesa too, and they'll probably boo Chiesa too. So it is the Rocco Camiso show. So let's see what kind of comments and BS he's going to throw at the end of the game against us too. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a blast, and I get to see Allegri beat Italiano, so that'll be hilarious.
Yeah, Derby days. It's always fun, and just that whole the whole thing with Italiano lately. There's so many people out there. They're like, "Oh, Allegri out, Italiano in." I mean, we'll see tomorrow, I suppose, but I don't know. I'm not bought in yet. We have to give Allegri another year. That's a whole other discussion, though. We'll just see. The eye test will be tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a perfect eye test. And also for the stat keepers at home, looking at the stats of this season so far, we have twice as many goals as Fiorentina has. We have 6, they have 3. They scored all 3 in the first game and have been blanketed the next games after. So
Yeah.
a lot of people would say Italiano's playing this freestyle attacking football and Vlahovic is suffering under Allegri and yada, yada, yada. Well, if you look at the stats, suggest otherwise.
It's just not true at this point. Yes, early days, we get it. But, yeah, and I saw that today. Actually, yeah, that was a comment yesterday on our live about that. Is that what you read?
Yeah, that was one of the comments that someone left where they were saying, we need someone like Italiano. So I would love for people to sit there and comment and tell us what we're missing here, because to me, I just see, again, it's not another Pirlo, but like Italiano is just not at that high tier. So, I mean, he couldn't score against Udinese. He got blanketed by Napoli. Who else? They played another lower quality team, and they still didn't score against them as well. The only game that they scored was 3 goals against Cremonese, and Cremonese scored 2, so they almost came back and won that one. So.
Yeah. Bottom feeder team as well,
yeah,
there, right?
So I don't understand the Italiano hype. I mean, you can make a case for Juric, but we're gonna see this head on. Allegri beat Italiano when it mattered. The only game that they got on us was at the end of the season when everything was pretty much guaranteed for us, and no one even cared at that point. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. That just from that whole dynamic, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be paying attention. Just hopefully, so afterwards I can put down the Italiano haters. And that's no shade to Italiano. Like, he is a good coach. He's playing. He's managing a not super great team. Like, they're good. They came in 7th last year. They just I just saw their draw for the Conference League. They might have a pretty decent time there. They're doing okay.
Yeah. But to throw him in the same league as a top tier coach or a Champions leading coach, it's a little bit asinine, because the thing is here's another thing too. So Fiorentina tied 0-0 to a 10-man Empoli. So their offense is not their offense isn't as big as everyone's cracking up to be. I mean, you can look at, and I'm looking at the stats of the Empoli game where they have 19 shots, but only 2 on target. anything that's being shot at the goalkeeper, whether it be from 50 yards, 40 yards, if it's at the keeper or if it's above the net, it's going to be registered as a shot. So sometimes those stats are a little bit lopsided, because I know a lot of people would use that against us. Well, you had 20 shots. Well, yeah, because all your shots were at the keeper or away, but you didn't really have any shots on target or clear shots. So, I think the one thing is I'm looking at it from an objective point of view. Let's try to be objective on the Italiano stuff or the because a lot of the anti-Juve rhetoric, it's kind of weird. It doesn't make sense. I mean, there's sometimes where you can understand some of the rhetoric, and it's like, okay, cool, I get it, I get your point of view, it makes sense. But when you're trying to say that Fiorentina plays a freestyle football, they've been on a goal drought for 3 games. That's not, that's not something that you want to say for a freestyle. That's like if Pep Guardiola went 2 games without scoring, the entire world would be on fire right now. But it's just my little take on Italiano.
Yeah, for sure. Again, we'll see you tomorrow. But number 10, thank you. Thanks for the comment. We do appreciate it. Yes, we are growing. We rolled over 400 yesterday. We are pushing to 500. I want to hit that 400 mark September 1st. We did. I don't see why. Let's make this. Let's give ourselves a timeline to 500. Let's give it 2 weeks. Let's say September 15th. Why not? And at 500, 2 things happen. One is we get to interact directly onto YouTube with chats and polls and that stuff. The second one is we're giving away some swag from our website. That's turngiants.com, so definitely check that out as well. Just as an example, there's those 2 posters in the back there, the Marchisio and the Chiesa, as well as the shirt I'm wearing. But definitely check it out. There will be giveaways, so tell your friends and please stay tuned. The more this channel grows, the more and more we can give you, and it's going to be exciting. We have so much on our plates to offer you. And as always, if you have any suggestions, anything that you guys want us to do something, whatever it is, drop us a line in the chat here, social media, Discord. Just find us. We're pretty much everywhere. Whether it's me, Dash, Farhad, or Rav, any of the other guys that have been involved, just drop us a line. We're here to give you what you want. But now that that's
always here
with the creepy voice, yeah, there we go. Dash the creeper.
Try, guys, try.
So yeah, let's roll right into it. Should we start? Because we always forget the predictions.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say 2-0 Juve. I think it's gonna be us just sitting back, biding our time for a counterattack, and we're going to go for the counter. I don't think there's really a necessity to bring the game to Fiorentina. I think what we're going to do is just going to sit back, wait for our chances, because the thing is the interesting thing, the reason why I say that is the projected lineup from Romeo Agresti is, right now, as it stands, Perin, obviously, because Chesney's ankle is gone, De Sciglio, Danilo, Bremer, Alexandro, McKennie, Paredes, Locatelli, Di Maria, Milik, and Kostic. So I think he's going on the rotation approach, just kind of like how he did with Spezia. Mm-hmm. Can't guarantee if it works or if it doesn't. I would laugh a lot if the Milik man opens up the scoring again today. Yeah. Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It feels like today, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does, surprisingly. But, we get to see Milik man. Hopefully McKennie actually isn't running around like a headless chicken this time. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe he, because he's notorious for the Chipotle ads, so I think Chipotle is probably doing something for him to get his legs going. So, Chipotle, if you're watching this, please make sure McKennie eats healthy, because that's always an issue at the beginning of the season. Thank you. That's your public service. But we get to see Bremer and Danilo in the center of the defense, which is actually interesting. I don't have any reservations about Danilo being a center back, so no problemos there. The other thing, too, that is going to be interesting is we're going to be seeing Di Maria and Kostic both starting on the wing. So I had a little bit of a theory with Adam, the previous podcast with Spezia, the post-reaction with Spezia. Check that out if you guys haven't seen it yet. But I think because Fiorentina plays a lot more open, I think we're going to see these guys take on do some dribbling, some actual incisive passes off the wing. I'm kind of curious to see what Kostic does, because Fiorentina will give him the space. They're not as compact as most teams. If we're going off of how Fiorentina theoretically plays, but because they haven't scored in three games and they're losing, I think Fiorentina might be a little bit more conservative in their approach this time. But, only time can tell. And then I'm actually excited to see, because, guys, wait for it, Paredes is playing as a regista in this projected lineup, and Locatelli is the mezzala.
I want to see him so much. I want to see Locatelli unlocked there as a number 8. So I'm excited.
Yeah, do we see the one and only Locatelli that we saw against Turkey in the Euros? The Locatelli that carries the ball up and scores and just does stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited. That is also a good news because that means Paredes is actually filing into the team quite well if Allegri's giving him the nod. But again, this is just allegedly what Romeo Agresti tweeted as his potential starting lineup.
Yeah.
We'll get into Allegri's presser, but Allegri kind of also said, I don't really know for myself who I'm going to start. So
Doesn't he say that every week though?
I feel like he does like to mess with everybody, but
Yeah. Nobody knows. And honestly, he probably doesn't even know until a couple hours beforehand. Maybe he's just one of those guys. That's how he rolls.
I think so.
Yeah, just see how they feel, especially with a congested schedule. It will come down a lot to just how players are feeling. Did they get a little twinge there in the warm-up or whatnot? You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Because, I mean, we've had so many players that, like, I think Aaron Ramsey was, like, guilty of it, of tweaking his hamstring in the warm-up. And it's like, dude, come on, man. It's the warm-up. Like, what are you doing? But, so, number 10 asks a good question. Do we want to save it for the actual, like, Mercato discussion, or do we want to answer this now?
Yeah, number 10, let us know if you're going to stick around. Because, it will be a little off topic. If you're not going to stick around, we'll answer you right away. But yeah, just keep back up with us. And of course, see, this is why we get distracted. Again, I almost didn't get my prediction. This is what happened. This is why I got a list, because we just go off the rails here. But it's fun in any case. You stole my prediction. I was going to say 2-0. Yeah,
okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I don't think it's fair to double up on that.
No,
so
come on. You can double up. You can just say who scored.
Double down?
Yeah, I'll say
Dave and Dash, double down, the double D.
Double D's.
Double D all day. All right.
I'm just gonna ride hard with a Milik goal and a Di Maria goal. That'll differentiate us. So you can just pick who you think is gonna score, and then they'll be like, okay, cool. So these guys are actually original.
Well, no, those are also very good takes as well. You know what? It's going to be Paredes with... We tend to get goals on the first outings. Milik didn't score in his first outing, but he scored within his first half hour or so of play.
Say, theoretically, he didn't play a full 90, so you could say it's his first 90 minutes, but
And this is his first start, so... I mean, still up in the air. You got Milik. I'm going to go with Paredes. He's going to launch a screamer from the midfield, just, I don't know, 35 yards out. We'll see. But like Locatelli did, but count this week. Something like that.
It'll count this time. I see what you did there.
And just to stay on theme, I really want to see Kostic get his first goal as well. So just on the vibes, I'm not saying like these are accurate predictions. This is just what I want to see happen. I want to see those 2 goals come from guys that really need them to break out, especially Paredes. Oh, man, if Paredes gets that, I want to see all the naysayers cry, is what really this is about. This is an emotional reaction at this point.
Hey, I mean, I remember the one time you and I were, this was, I forgot what game it was last season, where like, you're like, I need Keane to come in and score just for the emotional thing. And I was like clowning Keane the entire time we were watching the game, and then Keane steps in and scores, and you're just like, I told you, I knew it was going to happen. And I'm like, oh my God, I just trolled this guy, this player into existence right now. Oh, that was so funny.
I was losing my mind. I was jumping. Yeah, it was one of those where my wife gives me that look, like, what in the actual is going on, you know? But
it's like I wish you look at me more than you look at Keane.
Yeah. But here, now that we got that out of the way, let's hit up number 10's question here, just so we don't mess him up. Was it a good idea to get rid of Zach Elliott now rather than wait till January?
Yes, because his stock is high right now. Because if he stayed for until the winter transfer market, if he didn't play or if he was barely used, we would kind of have an Arthur situation where it'd be kind of difficult to find a buyer. Where like Chelsea got the deal done within less than like 2 or 3 hours, and like I think we won that deal really bad, especially with the loan fee and the option to buy.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we're gonna make a sizable profit off of it if everything does ball out.
It's really good business, and I know from the standpoint of the player itself, he has lots of fans. There's lots of people out there that love him. Didn't get the most playing time. He was injured, maybe just not chosen. He wasn't a starting midfielder. That's something else we have to remember, that he wasn't up to that level yet to play regularly as a starter. So when the Premier League comes and wants to give you What are the numbers? 27 plus 3.5?
Yeah, it was like 27 plus like 3.5 or 5.5, something like around there. But there was an initial loan fee that they gave them too. Let me see if I can
Yeah,
pull that up as
four
well.
million. This is all off the top of my head, but I mean the numbers are fantastic considering we've only had him for half a season essentially. And
And he was injured for like half of that season too.
yeah, and we'll get into it a bit later when we actually look at the club finances overall. We needed to make a sale. Obviously, it wasn't Rabiot,
Thanks,
but
Veronica.
but the more I'm thinking at this too, what were we going to get for Rabiot? On the top end, it would have been 20 mil.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And I know we didn't pay for him. He has a fairly high salary, but again, like he's proven over the past few seasons, maybe not the best player, but a player that can show up. As I'm saying that, he's out of the lineup this week for the first
Well,
time and for whatever.
It's like that Disney prince where it's just like, regardless of no matter what happens, he's always there for you. Like, he's like one of those insurance companies that like try to sell you on health insurance, where it's like, Allstate in the U.S., or it's like be in good hands with Allstate, or like Adrian Rabiot from State Farm, where he's just always there for you. So like a good, yeah, the
Like a good neighbor.
like a good neighbor, Rabiot is there.
Oh man, these are I'm pretty sure North American. I don't know. Anybody from Europe, let us know, or anywhere around the world for that matter. Let me know if that's a thing or
I was
not.
gonna say Europeans are gonna be like, "What the hell's a State Farm?"
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's American. But in any case, yeah, we're not here to sell you insurance. Unless you're not an insurance salesman. No.
No.
We don't want any of those. Actually, my brother's in insurance, so whatever. He's not watching. It's fine. All right. So the tactics. How are we going to go about this? Do you think between us, Viola?
I think it's a 4-3-3. I don't see why not. Just based off the personnel. I mean,
Yeah.
or as a lot of people like to say, the 4 octagon 3 or whatever.
The
that's
octagon.
called.
Yeah.
The
I got some troll today. Yeah. Let's diverge a little bit. I mean, stories. I love the stories. So as I do this, I am going to put up the little QR code for you guys. This is an easy way to get to our Discord. It is down in the description below, but you can scan that with your phone camera, jump in there. Today I got offered to go to a Serie A Discord server. Already part of the Juve. We have our own, of course, but the main Serie A one kind of got a hold of me. So I'm like, sure, I'll show up. I got up stupid early this morning for whatever reason. I always get up earlier on my days off than the days I have to work. I don't get it.
Oh man, that's the worst. That happened to me too. It sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, it's like 5 a.m. I accept this invitation, and if you know Discord, there's usually like a welcome message, and it's like wave, say hello to whoever. Immediately, an Inter fan just starts tossing it at me, like right off the bat. No, like hello, how's it going? Just like starts trolling hard. So I troll with him for like way too long. I was walking the dogs and he was still trying to troll me. Not the brightest. He's a Merelda fan. Just not the brightest.
He's an Inter fan. There's an education gap.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it is what it is. But, now I'm finally done with this Inter guy. Milanisto shows up and tries doing the same thing to me. Finally, at least the Lazio fans came in and diverted all the attention from me. But, I mean, it was fun. There was lots of good banter. So there is a wider community out there through Discord. If that's something you're into, at least check it out. It's a fun place to be. And definitely join ours. Continue the conversation. And, let's just have fun. Because, I mean, we love the banter. We want to hear it. We want to get it from you, straight from the fans. So, yeah, check that out. And, Let's get back on topic.
And also just a segue on that. I mean, the more of you that join in the Discord, the more stuff we can do on the Discord, whether it be just like cooperative plays on like FIFA Pro Clubs or Ultimate Team or anything like that. Because again, if you guys are in the Discord, it's almost like a direct line to communicate with us. So then we kind of know what you guys want to do in the Discord. So the thing is, like, we don't want to have it just be a chat where it's just a chat and there's like nothing there. So like the more folks that pop in there, the more ideas get floated around, and then we can actually do stuff, whether it be like online FIFA tournaments or even any other game if we wanted to mess around with it. So it's almost like it's a great way for all of you guys to come in, communicate with each other, So you have like a constant streamline of communication where it's not like, it's hey, it's my best friend from YouTube comments. Hopefully him and I are both on the live stream together so we can talk to each other. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just build that basis of camaraderie. So highly
No,
recommend
it's
it.
yeah, it's super fun, guys. Also, FIFA 23 is coming out in about 3 weeks, just under. I mean, I'm going to start a new season. I want to start that new season with you guys. I want you guys to tell me which decisions you want me to make in the transfer market, formation, all that stuff. So it's kind of like our own Turin Giants fantasy team that we'll be running, and obviously we can, play each other. We can have our own fantasy teams to play. But I mean, enough of the Discord. Check it out for yourselves. If you don't like it, you don't have to stick around. But yeah, I mean, give it a solid go. I know it's a new platform for a lot of people, but it's definitely fun. But yeah, let's move on from that. We beat that dead horse. Back to the strategies, the tactics here. So yeah, 4-3-3 obviously for Juve. Now you kind of alluded to it with Fiorentina. Are they going to play less aggressive? What do you think their formation is going to be? Do you think a little bit heavier on the back end, or are they going to stick to a free flowing play?
I think they're going to be heavier on the back end. It's guys, like, it's hard to play in Florence. That's one of the hardest stadiums to play in, especially since you're on the Fiorentina Ultras radar, just because you coached Chiesa and Vlahovic from them. Yeah. So like they have a bone to pick. So Florence is like, it's not per se like knocking the team, but like the thing is like it's just difficult to play there. And it's actually a funny comment from Juventus HQ. So like our tactic is get a foul on the outside of the box and have Vlahovic take a free kick. I see you. I understand.
And for those guys who don't know Juventus HQ, that's the guy that's getting all our shorts or reels, everything on Twitter, Instagram, and the shorts we put up. That isn't Kevin anyways on YouTube. That's Juventus HQ. So please check him out on basically all platforms.
Definitely got some sauce on the shorts, man. They are incredible.
Oh yeah, they really are. Definitely check them out. They're our most popular thing on the channel right now. So give it a go, guys. More the merrier. This is what we're doing. We're trying to give you something different. Not this. I mean, we're still here talking. Hopefully, not boring the living crap out of you. But we got more than just this. Is what I'm trying to say. Right?
Yeah, and then also the more, and hopefully the club is watching this, especially like Vlahovic or like Di Maria. Like, hey, the more ankles you break or like the more crazy free kicks you do, it's just more material for Juventus HQ. So like, just go out and ball there, guys. We can get some more clips for shorts.
Yeah, and don't forget, we actually have a direct link to the guys in the stands. We have people in the Curva. We got Kevin, who unfortunately didn't get the Curva tickets this season, but I think he's working on that. I think he's made enough inroads that working with Maurizio from around Turin, maybe he's got the in for next year. We'll see. But he's definitely in the stadium getting us the content. I mean, so much. He's on holiday, so it's been a little late the past couple of weeks. But Kevin, I'm talking to you next week. We need something. But no, everyone's doing a great job, so thanks to everyone. But yeah, a foul near the box. Who's getting the foul? Let's throw a prediction out there.
I would say Di Maria, because Di Maria is the one that's not afraid to take someone on one-on-one. So Di Maria will probably take someone, get cut, cut, metaphorically cut in and get tripped up or something like that, and then it's up to Big Daddy V to drop that left boot and the top bins.
Yeah, so, if he's on the field, we don't know that yet.
True.
But...
And Miller can score free kicks too. He can, surprisingly. I didn't know.
And Paredes can as well.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of set play firepower now, which, what was that stat? The last free kick we scored was in 2020 from Ronaldo. And Ronaldo barely ever scored any of those anyways.
I know. Well, because he would hog them all and then, line shot right into the wall.
Like, even when we had like Pjanic there, like he was our guy, got rid of him, and Ronaldo just showed up. It's like, this is my job now. And
he's like, hey, look at me, I am free kick taker now.
Yeah, so sorry, Ronaldo fanboys. There are things that he's not good at, and that's one of them.
They're still alive. I thought they were like rotting on the bench at Manchester United, like they're superhero.
They're crying in the Manchester rain right now.
Yeah, I guess. Well, apparently I heard that they were getting ready to transfer to be Napoli fans, but I guess that never ended up being a thing. Huh?
I guess that was Too much. That was
God.
too much.
Oh, you know how comedic that would have been if
I would have loved it.
if he went to Napoli, just to like the Napoli fans and Ronaldo fans just clashing with each other, and you'd have De Laurentiis like he's like, all right, we're gonna make a new film. I'm gonna produce a new film. We're just gonna throw Ronaldo in it. Hopefully, I get a bunch of views on it because my film career is absolutely terrible. That's why I suck at Napoli too. But hey, De Laurentiis things.
Yeah, I mean, it would have almost been perfect. De Laurentiis and Ronaldo, just the drama, and this is one of the reasons I love Serie A is the drama. It's almost like its own soap opera in a sense, except it's not daytime television and horrible. It's actually entertaining and it's soccer and we love it. So it's the best of both worlds. You get that drama, you get the soccer.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I would love to see Lotito and De Laurentiis just do a boxing match, kind of like a Logan Paul and KSI thing. That'd be hilarious to see, just because those two are just absolutely insane.
Which one's Logan Paul?
He's the big blonde.
No, like if you had to choose.
I
Like
would
who's
say
who in this?
I would say De Laurentiis is more like the Logan Paul, and then Lotito's kind of like the KSI, because like Logan Paul just says stuff out there, and then this kind of like De Laurentiis, where he just kind of just throws things out into the blue. So I think that'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I suppose because what's what's his name? Logan Paul. Yeah, as it slips me, Logan Paul. Yeah, he makes a name for himself for saying stupid things.
Yeah.
So
especially unique things.
Yeah, but anyways, we're not going to talk about Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers or wherever they're at, or makeshift boxers, whoever they are. That's not what we're here for. Let's move into Allegri's presser, though. It's more Allegri speak, I guess. But what did you break down from that?
So I got some summary points of the whole thing. The first thing is Szczesny and Rabiot are out. I mean, it's a given. I'm a little bit surprised with Rabiot, but I guess maybe it's just a little bit more precautionary of him sitting out just to be safe. But
he's got to play his old team.
Yeah, he's got to play. He's got to do that.
PSG's coming up. He's got to. Him and Paredes better show up for that match.
That'd be funny if him and Paredes scored against PSG.
It would. I would love it.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing too that was interesting, he said no decision on the formation. Okay, Allegri. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
4-3-3. You talking about 4-3-3 all last season and this season? It's a 4-3-3. Let's go with it.
And then he said Bonucci is fine, but also could be rested for Paris. Which okay, I'm fine with that because Gatti proved otherwise. Same thing with Danilo, with Bremer. So those three have been playing very well in the back. So I'm not too concerned.
No, and I mean saving Bonucci for a UCL match against Paris, that's sound. I'm down for that.
Yeah, he's got to go up against Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. So
he's gonna be done.
He's got to make sure he eats his beans before that game. He's got to eat his food, so he's got a full stomach for that one.
Yeah, let's just hope PSG has a fight in the locker room with some mothers in the background chirping away. Who knows?
Yeah, I bet you Mbappe's mom is like, "Hey, so we need Mbappe to have more goals than Neymar in this game. So, can you bench Neymar?"
I can actually see them presenting that.
Well,
yeah,
I heard PSG was about to change their name to MSG, Mbappe Saint Germain, but I guess UEFA wouldn't let them do that. But I digress. So now we have the other thing that we have here is that Di Maria is available or isn't 100% but available. So I think that's Allegri speak saying that I'm going to play him but not play him the whole game. It's fair, makes sense. I think he's probably playing first half and then he'll make an adjustment second half. So
throw in Cuadrado, share some minutes there, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna smash my head against the wall every time I see Cuadrado playing on the right wing.
I mean, with less hours, less minutes on those legs, he might actually have more of that sustainable energy throughout the season to not run straight into a wall.
Well, that's fair.
Maybe.
Fair.
I mean, I would love to see that.
You never
Just
know,
like your take with Sandro, right? With the left a little more unlocked, he can kind of chill out a bit and play defense.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, Cuadrado is always that super sub that when he comes on, when he starts, it's just like you're sitting there just gasping at nails. But like, I think Cuadrado would probably be a good factor as a substitute.
Yeah, and this is part of keeping the veterans around too and getting some young guys. You can split these minutes. And these older guys, when the game's tied 0-0 in the 70th minute, you throw these guys for 20 plus minutes, whatever, and they throw their flash of brilliance out there for you.
Yeah, like they always say, if life gives you lemons, you score goals.
I don't. What's the hate on lemons, anyways? I always got my lemon, my little
Yeah,
lemon
there's
water
just
in here.
nothing wrong with lemons. I don't know
Love
why
me a
people.
lemon.
Yeah, I was gonna say people hate lemons.
Yeah.
They just got a really limey personality.
Oh, and how about limoncello? Do you have any of that behind you?
Oh man, no, I don't think I do.
Oh, fail. That's a
Yeah,
fail.
I was gonna say, as my Italian neighbors will say, that puts hair on your chest. So,
Oh,
sponsored by
that's the
limoncello.
grappa. The grappa puts hair on your chest.
Yeah,
The
I remember
limoncello is the smooth.
I tried limoncello before. I'm like, I did not expect it to have the kick that it did because they're like, oh, Josh, it's New Year's Eve, have a little bit of limoncello. I'm like, all right, whatever, sure. And
Was
then
it
like,
was it commercial or somebody's homemade?
so my neighbors are from Bologna, the
Okay.
Bologna region. So their dad, my neighbor's father, came in from Bologna for New Year's and brought in some limoncello. And he brought in,
Nice.
I don't know how he got it through customs. Don't ask me. I'm not an expert on that. But he brought it in. And he was like, "Hey, yeah, try this. It'll put some hair on your chest." I'm like, "All right." And then I was like, I drank it. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is strong." Like,
Yeah, I think if you just went to the local liquor store down the street, you're not getting that version of limoncello.
yeah, it probably would have been sweeter. That thing was like super bitter. I'm like, I look at him. I'm like, Enzo, is there like any like actual lemon in this? Like it felt like just vodka almost. Well,
Well, that's what it
like
is.
vodka,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
can make your own. Just a bottle of vodka, some sugar, and lemon rind, and you just let it like infuse for a while.
It's just his reaction was the funniest because he looks at me and he laughs and he's just like, ha, 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 I got you there, huh? And I was like, dude, I'm like on fire, like my chest's on fire. I was like, wow, I did not expect that.
Another question here: who on the Mercato among Serie A teams?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That kind of segues to what Allegri put in his or his presser. He said the Mercado went well, so that means he essentially got everything that he wanted. So Allegri's a happy camper. Who
I think
won?
so.
To be honest with you, I mean, yeah, we did well, but there are some other teams that actually did.
So I just want to point out
Pretty
too,
good.
because this happened in the past day or two. I mean, we don't always pay attention to the other teams, so a couple names of interest: Dest to Milan, which I know a lot of. I'm thinking probably mostly American fans, but there was a want to bring in Dest, especially where we lack in the fullback department. But he's in Milan now, so another one of those guys, another fullback off the table.
It's interesting because they might actually deploy him as a right winger.
Or will they? That'll be interesting.
Yeah, they have nothing as an option there, so it's either Salamakers. But, but yeah, so that was the thing about him too.
Yeah, well, we'll see, because I mean, the next guy at Cherby to Inter, they play that derby tomorrow, tomorrow they play. So yeah, at Cherby is he really going to do anything for Inter? Do you think?
I think he's a depth signing.
He must be a depth signing.
I think he's a depth signing because like who do they have outside of their main three? Like so they have Bastoni, De Vrij, and Skriniar.
Yeah.
So like their substitute is like an old Ranocchia, and then Acerbi, and then I think Federico DeMarco or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so like their depth is not very good.
I suppose though, yeah, they play three at the back, so they need a little more in that back line.
Yep.
Makes sense. I'm glad we didn't get him. We were linked. So yeah, that's off the table. And just by putting those things into perspective as well, did Inter maybe lose this Mercato? They won with Lukaku, sorry.
Lukaku?
Lukaku, yeah, Lukaku.
That's what they say on the memes. They're like, Lukaku.
Yeah, and unintentional, but maybe true. And Meryl de Kaka, sort of the same word, right? So, yeah, did we win? What do you think?
So
Who won?
If I'm going to look at this objectively from a numbers wise, I would say Roma won. They had the most net profit out of any team in the league. They had.
Are you going financials?
Yeah, I was looking at
All
it financially. I would say we technically, if we're looking at it from player quality, I would make a strong case that we won because outside of one position, I think we've entirely upgraded the entire squad. Let me see if I had in my notes here.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna screen share too for the money since you're talking about it.
So there is a tweet that I saw, and it talks about who we've replacing with what. So I would say we did. So we did about nine adjustments to the first team or transfers. I would say we've probably hit maybe on 7 of them. So the first one's Chiellini for Gatti. Obviously, you can't replace Chiellini. Gatti needs some time to make that as a hit. Dybala for Di Maria. I think Di Maria is better than Dybala right now currently, so I think that's a hit. Ramsey for Pogba. Outside of the injury, I think Pogba is a way better player than Ramsey is. De Ligt and Bremer. This one's also questionable. I would say yes for the finances wise. I'd say we hit on this one because Bremer is probably equally as a good defender. I mean, he was the best defender of the season last year, so in theory, statistically, he's better. The next one is we switched. We donated Bernadeschi to Toronto FC and got Kostic.
Which, thank you, as
You're
TFC
welcome.
being my other team. He's amazing. But go on.
So we did do Berna for Kostic. I want to say technically, in theory, it's a hit because Kostic is more proven than Berna. But again, season's young on that one.
Yeah.
Pellegrini for Cambiaso. We'll see.
Is that even really? That's not really.
Yeah, that's not really a swap. Morata for Milik. I think right now it looks like that might actually be a win. I remember we were skeptical at first, but
We'll see. Yeah, early days.
We started the Milik train a little bit over here.
Yeah.
Arthur for Paredes. Definitely a win right there, just because of what the squad needs and what Paredes provides. This one also, I think this one might be a little bit of a hit or not, but Big Zach for Fagioli. I think I might be one of the few in the minority that I'm not sold on Fagioli yet. I still think he needs to develop more. I think Adam agreed with that on the podcast yesterday that we talked with about Fagioli. Time will tell. I think we could say Zakaria for Miretti. I think that would probably be more of an accurate comparison. Because Miretti is a definite hit right now. So for sure, absolutely doing that. So, guys, we've replaced almost 9 players. That's crazy. Like, if you look at that, like 9 to 10 players, like we've almost redid an entire first team. And a lot of these guys are hitting and making impacts right now. So the thing is like, imagine, because Allegri teams get started in January and February. So once these guys start gelling and rolling, I think we're going to be an absolute unit.
Oh, yeah. I think there's definitely more to come. But yeah, just to hit up here on Transfer Market, I know it's not the most reliable source, but the official source for Serie A. Jokes there, going back a few months. But anyways, you can see we, despite getting, we'll touch on this, a financial fair play breach, but we are in the plus this round right now. But as you alluded to with Roma, they're plus 45.5 million. And they've improved their squad. So
I know that's interesting. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the freeze, because Dybala was a free, Wijnaldum was a free.
It's still good business.
I forgot the midfielder. Shoot, I think he's a Serbian. Matic, yeah. Matic came in for free, so it's an upgrade. Good business on their part. It's actually interesting because they're owned by a lot of people, and that's the thing that it's a little bit of a segue. But a lot of these teams that are being bought out by American holding companies or Americans per se, a lot of the Serie A fans are getting irritated because like, oh, it's Americans. What do they know? I mean, they did. Elliott did really good with Milan, as well as I believe this new. I forgot the new group that owns Roma, but it's a U.S. holding group.
Yeah,
they're doing well with Roma. I mean, they're pushing Roma in the right direction.
They're out of Chicago, I think.
I think so.
If I'm not mistaken. Doesn't really matter. It's American.
I mean, yeah, but Milan now is owned by Redbird and then also LeBron James and Drake. So, yeah. So, how does it... But
not a big fan, I see.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of LeBron. I don't really care too much about Drake.
And how about Drake?
I was gonna say Drake. I don't listen to his genre, so like I can't really have an opinion on it.
Fair.
So
he's from my hometown of Toronto, so I kind of know about him. He's a bit of a celebrity.
I think he's probably bigger than a bit of a celebrity.
Bit of a celebrity, yeah.
I think he's pretty big to just be called a bit of a celebrity, but. He just flips a switch and then boom, he owns part of Milan.
He's no Justin Bieber. Let me just say that. Canadian artist. We just pumped them out. Let me tell
Hey,
you.
but I mean, kudos, man. That's interesting that because he's a rapper, right? So like
Yeah.
he's got stake in Milan, and something you don't expect,
That is
especially
that is
especially a
kind of
rapper
cool.
out in Canada in the Western Hemisphere. She's like, yeah, let me buy like 10% of
Well,
Milan.
Ryan Reynolds, who's from Vancouver,
I love
what
that
does
guy
he
so
own? What
much.
team? He owns
It's
a.
a Welsh team, Wrexham.
Yeah, I can never remember the
Yeah,
team, but he bought a team for $3 million, and it came out in the news a couple months ago. His wife, and why can't I think of his wife now?
Oh, Blake
Yeah,
Lively.
Blake Lively. I guess he never told her, and it was a bit of a big deal that he just went out and spent $3 million of his own dollars to
See, I
to
wonder.
buy us.
I wonder how much of that money came from aviation, because that's his gin that he owns. Like,
Yeah,
he has
aviation
aviation
gin.
gin. So like, because that's literally plastered all over the Wrexham stadium and everything. So it's like
Makes
it makes
sense.
you wonder how much of it was Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool money, or how much of it was his aviation gin. But yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is a hell of a businessman, man.
He
Because you think
is.
he's an actor and all that stuff, and I mean, he literally plays himself in every movie. It's one of those jokes that we make, but. Uh, dude outside of the studio, man, guy's killing it.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say, I'm not very big into the whole Marvel scene. I know he plays Deadpool and he's involved with that whole Marvel universe. I will not be the guy to go down the rabbit hole of Marvel, but all I can say is that if he's in a Marvel movie, I might actually watch it.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of fanboyism, now we have Milik and we have Ryan Reynolds. So chop that up in the list.
He's gonna be the two channel mascots with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
We get lucky, we'll get him on a live stream right there, and he'll be like, "What the hell am I doing here?" And it's just like, "Oh, well, we're here to talk stuff."
Yeah. And hey, Jockey Bro, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. All right, so where are we? We got again. This train does not go straight down the tracks.
I know we don't. We're just a charismatic enigma that just sits there and it's like squirrel.
Yeah, like my dogs. And actually, I will. I'm gonna try to set up. I know people love dogs. I love dogs. My actual Twitter handle is at DogDaddyDavide. As ridiculous as it is, I love alliteration. I love dogs, so I'm rolling with it. I'm thinking of maybe setting up a second camera and call it the dog camera.
The dog cam?
Yeah, because I got a dog bed in behind me, and the dog's coming in and out. I think I might just have a dog cam. I don't know. Do you guys want a dog cam? Let me know.
The dog cam is just like sitting there, just like, hey, Ruffy, what do you think of the projected lineup? He just looks at us.
Yeah. I got one passed out behind me right now. Can't even tell he's here.
They're just like gone.
Yeah, passed out. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we covered things a little bit quicker. Is there anything else you want to add before we completely make this a Friday and go off the rails?
Well, yeah. I think we covered the finances, right? Even the financial fair poop.
Oh no, that's right. Let's get those numbers there on the FFP.
Because did PSG get busted yet, or?
Probably not. I haven't heard anything yet from PSG. They never get busted.
I was gonna say none of these Premier League teams get busted, because interesting stat about that is, and this is for all the Super League people that were like against the Super League. So if you look at the entire amount spent during this transfer market, the Premier League spent 2.2 billion, and they had a net loss of 1 billion. So that means they spent more than what they earned. And then the next team there, that's funny.
There's the numbers. This very annoying. Yeah, sorry. This didn't cut out the best, but as you can see, a bunch of EPL teams and somehow Barcelona still spending money. But let's get that.
Isn't that Barcelona different? Like, it's going to be a different name. Give her a couple of months, because someone else is just going to buy the rest of their stake so they could buy more players.
So they can have wedding parties in their stadium.
Camp, at the new camp.
Yeah.
Destination wedding, the new camp. It's like when you got to get ready for a La Liga match at 5, but you got a wedding at 8. So
yeah. But the numbers, so I don't forget, on the FFP breach. I don't know the details on that breach. We'll have to report more on it as we know more, because this just came out. But 23 million plus 3.5. So I don't know what a plus 3.5 is. I think there's maybe certain parameter. I don't know. I'll look into it more, but potentially 26.5 million is going to be fine to Juventus.
Yeah, I think it's what is it? I think what's his face? Alexander Shevlin needs new vacation money for his
Yeah.
timeshare. So he's like, "Oh, let me do some financial fair play breaches over here and some over there." This is
Should
my
I correct you on how you pronounce his name? Because I don't like the
do
guy,
for
and
it.
I'm okay with you just butchering it.
Whatever floats your boat.
Okay, let's keep it butchered. We'll roll with that.
Yeah, just because apparently he's still butchered by Agnelli. But the thing is like I want to make this argument about a lot of the people that were complaining about the Super League idea. Well, it already exists. It's called the Premier League. Because if you have a group that's spending $2.2 billion and Serie A is spending 770 is like the close second to that, and even that Serie A essentially broke even. They spent 770 million and they earned 770 million, where the Premier League recorded a $1 billion loss or €1 billion loss.
And
So
no
like
FFP breaches,
no,
as
no
we know
breach,
of.
no breach is getting thrown at the Premier League. So it's like to me, it's like the Super League already exists. It's called the English Premier League because when you have a squad like Nottingham Forest that recently just got promoted and they're able to splash 40 million like it's nobody's business, that's insane. Because could you imagine a Spezia or like even a Monza being able to drop 40 million without getting in trouble? Because like even though
Yes.
Berlusconi owns Monza, like he could technically break the bank like a lot of other these rich owners do, but like he would just immediately get punished by financial fair play. So like I get irritated, and it's like everyone would make that argument that like, oh well, the Super League's a cancer to football and blah blah blah. Guys, the Premier League is doing it right now, and like nobody's batting an eye, and like it's just like, and it's not like because that league is, it's just people are splashing money in the league. It's not even like that league is amazing because what kind of team goes in there and loses 9-0? Like with Bournemouth and Liverpool, you're calling that's like, remember in the 2018 World Cup where everyone lost their mind that Trinidad and Tobago was losing games like 6-7-0, and like everyone's like, how did they even get in here? They shouldn't even be in here. This is the World Cup. You don't have lopsided scorelines like that. So for it being considered
Yeah.
the Premier League, I mean, like what is it? Messi and Ronaldo's glory days in La Liga, you didn't see obscene score lines like that. Like
It's true.
the one score line that we saw that everyone would meme would be like 4 or 5-0, not 9. Like
Yeah, like, and that's like playing FIFA. Those
yeah,
matches where you just blow out the other team because your through balls are amazing for like no good reason.
yeah.
you
You
know?
got you got the Cronus Zen on your controller, so it's like accurately calculating the way that you throw the ball there. But like, and the funny thing is those people like will say that Bournemouth can go and finish second or third in Serie A, and it's like, well, yeah, because they have the financial firepower to do so. I wouldn't say that they have the talent, but like they could buy the players to finish second in the league. But like that to me is just like when you hear someone make that argument for the Super League, and then they tell you how the Premier League is the greatest in the world, that kind of just sits there, and you're like, huh? Like that argument makes no sense to me, and it boggles me how people are clearly okay with this. Like they're okay with the Premier League, but they get mad at PSG. It's almost the same thing because like
It's
me,
biases, though. We
yeah,
have our bias.
yeah, because like think about it. Like everyone's sitting here, how is Rabiot able to make 7 or 6 million at Juventus, and then like if he went to Man U making 8, nobody would have batted an eye. It's just the amount of money that's getting dumped in there. Like I get it, the production quality is great because the Premier League is broad in the U.S. I'm going to talk in the Western Hemisphere, is broadcasted by NBC, which is like one of the biggest media companies in the U.S. is it's NBC. So like they have all these camera angles, the production quality is amazing. Where Serie A just has Paramount Plus and like CBS. CBS is like the lowest tier of sports in the U.S. Because
Yeah,
your big one is Fox because Fox owns the NFL rights.
and
Because
ESPN, I imagine too,
no,
right?
actually, Fox is actually bigger than
Oh,
ESPN
okay.
because the thing is, so here's the crazy thing about it, Davide, is Fox owns the exclusive rights to the NFL. So, like for
Yeah.
example, you have 32 teams that play, so you have 16 games. Fox has the rights to about 15 of those games, where NBC only has one game a week, CBS only has one game a week. So,
Okay,
like,
and that's big money, obviously, in the
yeah,
states. The
that
NFL
is
is
huge.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the thing is, the only difference is it's just divided by markets. But like overall, Fox as a whole owns it. So like Fox is getting a big piece of that pie. So like they're probably the hugest when it comes to it because their production quality is probably by far one of the best when it comes to the NFL. Like these camera angles and these analytics and yada yada yada. And then you have NBC, which is like right up next to them. NBC does like a lot of your races, horse races. They used to do hockey, but that went over to ESPN. But like they have a lot of the second tier events like racing, Wimbledon, tennis, all those, and they're like amazing when it comes to production. So when they picked up the Premier League back then, like they picked it up and like helped their production quality. And the thing is like NBC made the Premier League popular in the US. So that's why it's like two big markets. You have the market in England and then you have the market in the US. I hope that Paramount and CBS end up trying to get like people into Serie A. And I think maybe because the league's going to be a lot more competitive than the Prem, we start getting people to look into it. But it's tough, man, because like in the US, if you download the app Peacock, it's just $5 to watch Premier League games, and it's the same price as Paramount Plus in the US. So like it's gonna be interesting. It's a tough draw, but the Premier League by far has probably the best companies and the best things backing it. But it's getting to the point where it's ridiculously lopsided.
But listen, and I don't want to like go down this tirade of the super leagues and whatnot. But first, I'll just throw out. I believe I did hear this one time. Fact check me if I'm wrong here, but the EPL original, what they were originally going to call it was going to be the English Super League.
Yeah, I know. That's the irony of it.
I mean, it's just what's in a name, essentially. But one little warning: as much as we want everything to be great and the best, and have those production values, it's not all pretty. So, and you probably see it. Anybody that watches North American sports, especially on the cable networks, will know it is just riddled with commercials. They stop, and this is one thing that I can't stand about the NHL, ice hockey, is that they will stop the game to have a commercial. It's absolutely ludicrous. And even if I'm going to watch a soccer or football match, what have you, say like the Euros, so we have TSN Canada, they'll play the Euros or any of those international matches. And they'll do the whole screen and screen thing, but make the actual match very small and the ad huge. This is what you get with all these TV rights, is you're just getting more commercials. Yes, when you watch the game, it looks better. You know, the pregame, the postgame, the intermissions, those shows are all great. But you're just inundated with ads. So, I mean, the grass isn't always greener. I love Serie A because it's not a North American sport. I grew up with North American sports. This is like my European cousin that doesn't give me all that nonsense. And just, I mean, his house might be in shambles, but I still enjoy going over there and having a couple beers. if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So,
no, totally.
Yeah, I mean, this is a discussion we can definitely go on for absolute hours, but
I think we need to get into the food discussion, the barbecue. So one of the
that's
things,
it, yes.
Yeah, because so we're davening our. It's almost like the last weekend of summer. In the U.S., it's called Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Does Canada have Labor Day too?
Yep. That's why I'm off today. I got a 4-day weekend.
So like this is usually where we all just kick out, get some barbecue going. We'll take out the grill, do the charcoal or the natural gas, whatever tickles you fancy, and then we can do some New York strip steaks, some ribeyes, or if we want to get real fancy, do some kebabs or some grilled chicken, and then so let's throw it here. So what's your go-to dish on Labor Day weekend? What kind of meat, Davide?
Okay, it has to be meat specifically. I can go with meat. And
we're gonna start with like an entree, the sides. And
we're gonna do it all. Yes,
yeah, we're gonna do it
perfect. All. Guys, also in the chat, let us know what your favorite long weekend barbecue is if you do celebrate Labor Day. Whatever specific Labor Day thing is. But, I mean, that's a good question. I don't have anything specific for Labor Day. It's not like Independence Day for you or Canada Day for us, like that big July weekend.
Okay, we just blow stuff up.
Honestly, traditionally, I don't know, because harvest seasons are different around the world, but traditionally where I'm from, this is the weekend where we make the tomato sauce. So it's not so much barbecue season; it's tomato sauce season.
Okay, I can.
But I'll play. No, I'll play with this though. What would I have if I'm doing barbecue this weekend? What would I have? And I was actually thinking about this. What should I have? And I was thinking smoked ribs with maybe some. Should I do the cornbread? Should I go like southern with it? Get some cornbread and ribs?
Hey, watch out, man. That's God's country. When you start going there with the cornbread and the ribs, oh, my goodness.
Got to get me some cornbread.
Man, got to get yourself that good old cornbread. He's got to bake that sucker for a couple hours, just like a nice, slow bake.
Yeah, do it in the cast iron pan there. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you got your ribs, you got your cornbread. Now, Davide, what's going to be the side? You got to tell me what the side is. Is it like the coleslaw, or is it the mashed
Oh, the
potatoes, the mac and
slaw.
cheese, macaroni salad?
So I'm gonna go seasonal here, especially because literally I just go down my road to like the main road there, and there's a farm, and just the most beautiful corn. And I don't do corn all the time, but it's definitely a treat. And if it's a long weekend and you got some nice smoked ribs going, why not get some perfect fresh, uh, not cookies and cream. What's it called there? Peaches and
Burrito?
cream. The peaches and cream.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, peaches and cream, corn on the cob. So that's it's got a bit of the white kernels in there. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. All right, cool. I see. I get you. Yeah, see, with me, and I'm gonna go with Jockey Boy on this one. Getting some pulled pork going.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you just
yeah.
get some pork in the oven, let that sucker go for a couple hours, and when it's done, you just mix some barbecue sauce and just shred that pork with the barbecue sauce, and then you just get some amazing pulled pork sliders on that boy. Like, oh, those are the best appetizers or starters you can do for a Labor Day weekend.
Now here's a quick question though.
All right.
Do you have like a name brand, store brand, whatever sauce, or do you go homemade?
So, I actually do have a house barbecue sauce. So,
Nice.
my family restaurant actually makes our own house barbecue sauce. So, it's like we take a bunch of ingredients. It's a house blend. So, we're taking Sweet Baby Ray's, we're taking Open Pit, and then we're taking it's called Liquid Smoke.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
Some apple cider vinegar, some
Yeah.
garlic powder, some black pepper powder, and then some brown sugar. And we're just taking all of that and we just concoct it into this sauce of awesomeness. No, but like. Yeah, we'll like put it all together, and then it's just like boom, you have a house barbecue. Because the thing is like I can't ever since we started doing that, like I can't just have a straight Sweet Baby Ray's. It just doesn't feel
No.
the same for me.
It's never the same. And I love Sweet Baby Ray's, despite it being horrible for you because it's pure sugar essentially.
Straight sugar.
Yeah, but it does have a nice flavor profile for the old smoky barbecue.
Yeah, and then so now we go into our entree here. So traditional T-bone steak kind of guy. Why? Just because I like it because of the size and it just grills really well. So you get some nice steak seasoning as you marinate. You get a little bit of some vegetable oil. Get a bowl, fill it up with some vegetable oil. A little bit of we call it Vegeta. Your people over there, I think it's called Vegeta. Vegeta.
Oh yes, I know what you're.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we get that bad boy in there, and then we put it in there with the oil. We get some steak seasoning, a pinch of steak seasoning, throw that in there as well, and then you just put that and you marinate it for an hour and a half until you're getting ready to cook it. Then you fire up your grill, throw that sucker on there, boom, comes out perfect.
Yeah, so you're more of a seasoned marinated steak guy, eh?
Yeah, I am. I can't do it flat. It just feels weird for me.
Salt and pepper, and I got this beautiful Vancouver Island sea salt, flake salt. Oh,
Okay.
it's amazing.
You know-
You can get like Meldon salt from the UK. Similar stuff, of course.
See, I'm a big fan of Montreal steak seasoning.
Are you? See, I'm not. It's the dill. We're not a huge dill family. My wife won't even touch it.
I gotcha.
So yeah, that's kind of off the table. But just
Yeah.
nice, freshly cracked pepper, some nice sea salt, and I'm gonna up your T-bone and go to full porterhouse. It's got the larger tenderloin on it,
No, that's fair. Definitely.
and
That's fair.
and I mean it's perfect because it is just me and my wife, and she's not a big red meat eater. So I cut her off the little tenderloin. I got that huge strip loin on the bone, and I'll just go to town on that guy.
No, I gotcha. So then here's the side though. So we got to get some Redskin potatoes.
Yes.
Slice those boys up, and then you put them in a pan of hot water, boil them, and then you just boil the hell out of them, and then after you drain them, just mash them in there. So here's what I do. So I take some heavy cream and some butter.
Oh yes.
I'll put it into the smashed remains of the potatoes and whip that sucker like it's nobody's business. You just have some nice flaky Redskin mashed potatoes, and it's just you put that there. If you have any kind of steak, I think I'm one of those guys where it's like if you're having steak or red meat, you have to have mashed potatoes. Like it's one of those things like
It's got to be the smashed, eh? You're not down for the roasted.
Yeah, well, I mean, roasted is fine. Like, I don't have an issue with roasted potatoes. I
Okay.
just,
But you're mad. You're like a mash guy.
like, I'm a mash guy, man. Like, it's just like it balances it out because it's like you got the zip and the zap with the steak if you put some like seasoning or some sauce on it, and then like the mashed potatoes, it kind of grounds you. It brings you back to earth because you're sitting there, you're going all over the place with the meat, and then you just like add in the mash, and you're just kind of like, it just brings you back down. Just kind of keeps it together.
Brings it down to earth, does it?
Yeah.
It is an earthy vegetable. I'm going to share a little technique. I mean, clearly we both love food here. Hopefully you guys do too. We're going off the rails a bit again, but it is Friday, so we're just having fun with it, trying to get hyped up for the weekend and the game ahead. But potatoes. So this is a British or English style. Got it off the internet. But you boil the potatoes first, but you put baking soda in the water, and it makes the water alkaline.
That's interesting. I've never done that before.
I know, it's crazy. So and you don't full boil them, you like half boil them. And then you drain them, take them out, and you put them kind of in like two bowls, and you shake them, and it like curls the edges. It smashes the edges up. And then you fire them in the oven with, of course, the oil, olive oil all over it. And 425 on roast. If you have the roast setting, I like that. And just those curled edges now with the oil and that high heat, it just crisps everything right up. And that alkaline base that it was boiled in, it's really next level. And I've paired that with my ribs a few times as well. And
I gotta try that because the only time I've used baking soda, and this is funny because if people are like clicking on the video as it's live and they just hear us baking soda and green beans, like what the hell does that have to do with Florence and you?
Nothing. It has nothing to do with it.
This is our closing topic, guys. You're just gonna have to rewind the clip. Anyone that joins in right now, but yeah, because the only time I've used baking soda is when I'm blanching green beans. So that's like that's interesting because the only thing, like, to be honest with you, the first thing in my head when I hear baking soda is when you run out of Tums and you have heartburn and you just take baking soda and water. So like,
yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just because even though like I'm not like a career restaurant guy, but I've been around the food industry ever since I was a child, just with my parents immigrating to the States and just working restaurants as their first gig. So, I've grown up in the restaurant scene. So I've seen, the movie Waiting, speaking of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds again.
Yeah, so it's like, no, it's not all the weird, creepy stuff you see in the movie, guys. Get your minds out of the gutter. But like you just like you grow up in it, and it's like a separate world that it's just like it's my own. It's like a dumpster fire. Like the restaurant industry, just like if you ever work in it or are a part of it, it's an absolute dumpster fire. But it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, baking soda is one of the few things I've seen used throughout outside of cookies and or an alternative to Tums.
So, like, you don't bake much? Is that what you're saying? Like, or you?
So I don't.
Besides baking.
Yeah. So like I don't use it even like when I make cakes. Like when I'm making a chocolate cake or anything like that. Well, you can't use baking soda because it'll just make it flat. But yeah, because from what I've seen, I just haven't had a recipe that I've done or really experimented with where I use baking soda that much. I mean, yeah, I've
pancakes.
Really? Well, I see. I'm old school. I just get the premixed, the premixed stuff.
No, pancakes are so easy, especially. Yeah, I can go on for hours now. Jeez.
Like, yeah, well, because the thing is like it's not me knocking on pancakes. It's just like, especially with my family's restaurant, it's just like I don't feel like looking at a full-on recipe to make pancake mix. I just get the premix and we just go.
It's so okay. So when you make pancakes with the mix, you need to get the water and the eggs, anyways.
No, I get you. Okay.
The mix, all it has is the baking soda and powder in there with the sugar. So it's just a matter of taking those three simple ingredients, adding it in, and some salt. You're talking about what, an extra minute of work?
Well, I mean, I gotta make the mix that I make is like to make enough for like 100 or 150 pancakes.
Okay, so instead of a teaspoon, you get a couple tablespoons. Whatever, come on.
Throw a box in there.
Oh man. Anyways, that was a good food segment. We should definitely do more of this. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys hate it, obviously let us know. But I think everyone loves to eat for the most part. I mean, you're alive, so you like to eat.
Exactly. Then, how about this? If Giuseppe watches our stream, we'll do a wine segment for him because apparently he likes the wine behind me.
Oh, does it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit of a wine. I'm more so my wife, but
sit there and do like a wine review as one of our crazy night ones.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, when we go late night, I mean, I might just go and grab a beer right after this. My long weekend essentially starts right now. This is my last task of things I have to do. That does include what my wife tells me to do. But so yeah, we'll have some fun. She's still at work, so I can get away with a couple here.
He's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna end this stream real quick so I can go play Call of Duty before my wife comes in and freaks out on me.
No, actually, I have to re-race the Canadian GP on F1 because it crashed. My computer crashed on the last lap, and I was in first, so I got to redo that. So grab a couple beers, re-race Montreal. Yeah, we'll go with that. And it is, if you're an F1 fan too, I'm told lots of Juventino are F1 fans, so jump in. I got a channel there in the Discord as well. But yeah, sorry.
Well, no, I was gonna say, I'm like, that's the worst thing ever, man. Because I remember I spam racing games all the time. You do those like 6-lap races. You get to the end, and then your console crashes, and you have to do the whole thing.
No, this was a 35 lap. I'm doing like the half circuit.
That's still a lot, though.
Yeah, it's like it's a 45-minute race. So I was like 44 minutes into it.
Yeah, like 44 minutes into it, and then it's like, and the worst is like when you come back when you're like behind, like 2 places behind, you finally come back, you're leading, and then your game just like, and you're like, no. Yeah. No.
But yeah, that's something I do on my free time. I stream that on Discord as well if you want to check that out or even join. It's also a fun game. You can see I'm more of a sports gamer, FIFA and F1. I mean, whatever. I try to live vicariously through the sporting achievements that I did not accomplish throughout my life.
It's just like, hey man, I can't kick a real soccer ball, but I bet you I could R thumbstick circle tap that into the top bin more than you can.
Oh, you bet. Probably not. I probably still can't even beat you. But anyways, Dash, enjoy your long week. Well, we're gonna be back anyways for post game. But until then, enjoy. Do you have any last comments for us?
Just make sure you guys like and subscribe the video. Comment on the replay, please. And thank you.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, hit everything up, hit us on socials, and just wait out, because after the game, during the game, whatever, we're going to have these shorts. We're going to have fast time reactions. So stay tuned. Can't wait to talk to you guys on the post game. Thank you, everyone. And you all have a great night, evening, day, whatever it is, long weekend. Let's do this.